Can sport fighting help you with self-defense? It's a very, very common topic. Many questions, many answers, and still a lot of uncertainty. Self-defense is basically the act of protecting yourself. It's not about getting points. It's not about winning a judge over. It's literally just being able to protect yourself and protect yourself from whatever circumstance may come. This is a difficult topic because if you break it down and look at all the pieces, there's quite a bit of understandable controversy. To be successful in a fight, you need to have a certain kind of fight conditioning, a certain kind of mental toughness, a preparedness, an ability to deal with someone's aggression, and the experience to not be afraid in a combative situation. And without that baseline ability, your likelihood of surviving a confrontation, a street confrontation, a self-defense confrontation, is significantly less. And many times the techniques that are called for in a self-defense situation are not necessarily super complex. They're actually maybe very simple. In fact, many people say the simpler the better because you don't want to be thinking about complex setups or tricking somebody or weird timing. It just doesn't make sense. It's really not how a lot of actual combat situations occur. But sparring and sport fighting can actually get really complex. There's a lot of baiting someone in with a jab or coaxing them into a move so I can get a certain pass or see if I can get a few points on a takedown. And none of this stuff is really relevant if you have to protect yourself. And in fact, a lot of it kind of just doesn't really make any sense. Because in self-defense, you kind of assume that it's an emergency situation. It requires eminent attention. You have to react to something right away or the situation gets really, really bad for you really, really quickly. And you don't really have time to bait somebody with some kind of technique or do some kind of weird prolonged tactic and wait for the next round to get them back. It just doesn't work that way. However, sport fighting is one of the best ways to develop combat preparedness, which is the most valuable skill set that you can have in a real fight situation. So it can teach you to not freeze up or just be too panicked or worried to get any kind of technique off. Because if you freeze up, there's really not much you can do. So the best case scenario would be practicing both tactics for self-defense as well as sport fighting. But if you just had to pick one, I'd probably just pick the sport fighting. Hope this helps.